Alrighty, Pastor Michael, and YouTube friends and Facebook friends, because I'll post it on there. I'm going to do this thing. Let me run and grab a pick, because I came down cellar. I got to grab one of the ones I like to use. Give me a second. I got 300 picks. And they're all upstairs next to me where I play. I got a lot of little jazz threes, and I'm working to use the full size, the jazz jumbos or whatever they're called. So I'm in between. I miss notes with this one and have trouble holding the pick, and I trip over and hit stuff with the other one. Pastor, I don't know if this is what you're looking for. I'm looking for a track on YouTube. This one's D, B minor, G, A. It's the same scales and all that same kind of stuff. This is like a country-ish kind of vibe. And I don't know what the volume's going to be. Let's see what we got. Playing a lot of the pentatonic and a little bit of diatonic D major. So when it's on the D, you know, you probably know how to do this. You know, that kind of stuff with the D major. You know. So on the D, I do a lot of that kind of thing. While it's somebody's playing the D, I might go from the B note to the A, and then down to the D, and then up to the F sharp. Killer over that, especially for worship type stuff. That's why the pastor told me he'd pay me double to not go to work on those occasions I did on like a Tuesday night and come home late. I want you here, I'll pay you twice what you make. And I couldn't do it because his heart was so precious, loved him so dearly. I'm there, I ain't gonna do that, Pastor, I'll make sure to be here. Because I was making an easy $100 an hour doing the logging. So the D major, F, B minor pentatonic, and so basically all I'm doing is I'm either harmonizing to that D while it's on it, right, which is I'm bending the E note here, I'm in the B minor pentatonic right here, putting in the A note. Those are the perfect harmonies, major harmonies to that D chord. There's an F sharp and an A. Hendrixy stuff, it's on dirty, but anyways. So just do your pentatonic from the D. And then when it goes to the B, like say if I'm going, I can go right to the B note if I wanted, you know, or I think I want to do different things each time it comes around to that. So I might go, But I won't just stay there. I don't know how fast the chord changes. Everything's based around how fast the progression is, how quick the changes are. I wouldn't move as much unless I move more if the chords are spread apart more. But if they're tight together, I wouldn't move far. I would make sure my riffs are tight together, you know. So you could stay there and just on both chords. And then when it goes to the G, then I do this, it harmonizes to the G chord, then I go up to the B note. When it's on the G, and then when it goes to the A, I might go, it's an A note. And then go down from that A note with the B minor pentatonic, the D major pentatonic, to the A note, you know. So that's A major pentatonic right there. See, that's why I said that several pentatonics can work in a progression. There's a perfect example with that B minor GA. I'm using mainly the D major B minor pentatonic, but when it goes to that A, I'll use A major pentatonic. Let me demonstrate some of that. And I just keep doing the same thing. You know, and whatever, so. Alright, so here we go. What are we on? B minor. My thought process, whatever I do, it's not a thought process anymore. The thought process was mastering the do, re, mi's and mastering the pentatonics and being able to play what I want to hear without looking. To get to where I can play and what I want to hear without looking, there's no thought process in when I do that. The thought process was dealt with by getting all these down. In whatever key, and I can do that, you know, I got it so down in me in one key when I first started. Fast. I learned these fast, a block a day. So by Saturday, I had the pentatonic mastered on the fretboard. Because I'm determined. I didn't have a job anymore. I'm down here in the cellar, you know, trying to keep myself from going out back and committing suicide. But I got these down till I could light them up in the arpeggiated form. In all the scale, all the modes with that, so if it went. And then the octaves. From playing those scales up and down and listening to what's in them, doing them slow. And I just kept doing all these kind of things. I'd take one little idea and milk that thing so that there's everywhere that feel exists, I grabbed it. And that's how I did it with anything I came up with. I'm just, those things I just decided to play to an A chord just now, you know. Same principle I was doing with the D just a minute. I don't really have a thought process. I just play what I want to hear, but I don't know. The reason I have things to say is because I work them scales to death, up and down, a pentatonic, diatonic, arpeggiating dyads, octaves, to death. You know, in one key so much that I can do it in any key. If you said C, any key. So I don't know the thought process. I just hear the chord progression, and I'll start with something not much, you know. And then I'll build it up as the track goes on, you know. Well, I went into the key of G, sorry. That's all I know to say is, you know, so a track, and I'll just, you know, I will, the thought process a little bit will be, well, what am I going to do the next time it comes around? What's it feel like I should do based on what I've already done? You know, so I focus on a feel thing that, you know, a little less in the beginning, maybe a little bit more after, and a little less again. But, you know, never overkill. Don't do too much in the beginning. I don't want to go over 15 minutes. It's unlimited. I mean, I could do a quadrillion things to that. Depending on what it's got to feel like. If somebody came to me from a band or something and they said, look, here's our track, we want it to feel like it's kind of whatever, then that's how I would base what I put in there. And I would just listen to the track probably for an hour and not touch a guitar. Just listen to the track and based on what they want it to feel like. Because the Mixolydian feels a certain way, the you know, the Aeolian, the natural minus feels a certain way, the Phrygian, every note has a certain feel to it if you emphasize that one note in that same key. So how do you want some tension in there, some, you know, all this kind of stuff. So I don't just go off and play a riff. You know, I want, if I'm going to create a piece, then I want it to build. I want it to just have some, what should it start out kind of with, you know? So the more my thought process would be listening to the track and not playing at all, not touching a guitar. But I've only got to work with whatever I know, whatever I've got mastered that I can play with my eyes closed, and all this stuff that whatever it is I only have that. That's, you know, to pull from. So, you know, I listen and I go, okay, yeah, all right, we'll start out light, maybe with some octave stuff, and just build up on it. I've already done a couple CDs 10 years ago doing that. You know? What? And I would sit with a simple idea like, and I would just do all these little things and keep this, And then I would just say, well, what else can I do off that? Whatever. All right, hopefully I didn't go over 15 minutes.